responsibility. And when you get people looking at you,
While the tail end holds up traffic has become the casualty. Captained by Stuart Mann, who has his own ideas about the incoming alley monster.
Looks like a shark, doesn't it? Just going to check the weight now, then we're going to lift it off and start to process it. We do some really weird and obscure stuff, and we're up for any challenge that the world throws at us.
I feel like a bit of a pilot doing this, yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's get it off. It's not that easy. There's not a lot to get hold of. Just hope that doesn't...
And he can now do a post-flight pilot's inspection.
She's a big old beast.
Inside, the aircraft has seen better days.
You wouldn't want to be going on holidays in this, would you? Hey, I bet she can tell a few stories.
The broken tail reveals a strong internal structure based on nature.
There's a honeycomb, look. I think there's been bees in there, don't you?
But alley's worth a lot more than honey.
I mean, people think aluminium's sort of a lightweight, which is light, but when it's moulded and formed like this, it's very strong. Which has got to be solid, obviously, because it's flying in the sky, isn't it? Yeah, that's what we're after. That's why we've got it. That's what we want to be chopping up and recycling. That's where the money's made.
Aluminium is big business, and Andy's not the only one looking to profit from this versatile component. In Kent, the stranded tail end of a Nimrod plane awaits departure to a scrap destiny. Some of its parts may be sent on one last mission. But Lee Smith and Jamie DeFranca haven't had a full briefing.
Is it like an air duct, do you reckon?
Unfortunately for Peter, Jamie and Lee are discovering that removing an air intake scoop is much tougher than it sounds.
I don't think it's going to come off straight away because it's got to go through 2 lots of skin. Most of the time for that.
It requires a muscular but delicate removal.
Oh, would you mind to come home and just give it a little smash to see if we can get it off?
Andy moves in carefully on the Nimrod's outer shell. It's an intricate military operation which requires precision handling. There's no room for error. But unfortunately, the historic artifact has been wounded in action.
Hang on, Andy, isn't it? Slightly dented.
That's a war wound. That was done in action.
Do you honestly think that the museum's going to want this? I honestly think we should just give them the door instead.
Give them both. Yeah, place it carefully. A lot of love went into getting that off.
The tail end of Nimrod remnants might be safely on the ground, but will the museum consider the scrapyard salvage good enough for their collection?
Obviously, it's slightly damaged, but we'll soon see what they say. Feel good about myself that one day that I can go into the museum and I can see the stuff on the shelf. Do you know what I mean?
2 pieces have been rescued, but there's a long war ahead. As soon, they'll start their assault on the aluminium outer shell to reap the last remaining value. On the northeast coast of Kent, at the Reclamet scrapyard, the current life phase of the Nimrod's aluminium shell is all but over.
It's big and bulky. It's taken up a lot of space in the yard, so I think we need to crack on with it now and get it done while we've still got the daylight.
Flight Lieutenant Andy Fry is in charge of this military operation.
Well, let's get this thing crushed.
2.5 tons of multi-purpose metal needs to be cut up to fit in the baler.
It's too big to go in, so I'm going to just nibble away at it.
There's no melting process here, just brute force.
Just trying to make it a bit smaller. It's a tough old bird. That's better. Now you can see she's just starting to collapse a bit there. You just keep breaking at it. Whoa!
Wrestling this shark of the skies is a test of endurance.
It's starting to look a little bit unlike a plane now. Takes a bit of time.
It requires extreme patience and skill.
Be careful we don't damage any pipes or anything else. I just need to get it to a size where I can put it in the crusher.
The Nimrod's putting up a good fight. But it's no match for this Scrap Pro pilot.
Just that last little bit there.
And Andy's hell-bent on conquering his opponent.
That's the bit. She's about to fly for the last time. In she goes. And now, with a little bit of luck, I can shut the door and that'll crush the old girl up. She's had a good old dinner. There you go, baby.
There's no escape now as the Nimrod goes behind enemy lines.
Makes you feel all powerful. Got control of the big crusher.
The baler can exert a phenomenal 600 tons of cutting pressure.
That's where the money is. It's all recyclable material. Maybe should go to make another plane.
The Nimrod is a shadow of its former self.
Quite sad in some ways. I don't know how long it will take to build one, but it doesn't take long to crush one, that's for sure. So you wouldn't believe that plane would fit in that skip. There she goes, that's the last piece of the plane.
Andy's keen to satisfy his favourite bit on the side.
She likes being fed all the time. Yeah, she's my baby.
But the battle isn't won yet.
Sometimes the wings can be a bit more tricky.
The remaining parts are still being held hostage.
They don't want to stay in. Another little meal for Betty.
Andy's old girl has an insatiable appetite.
Betty eats all these meals all day. I shouldn't put on any weight.
The Nimrod may have reached its final destination, but this pile of aluminium scrap will fetch a good return and continue its onward journey.
Well, there's the plane. It's gone from that size to that. Makes you feel pretty proud, doesn't it?
Alongside, some aviation history has been preserved.
We did save this. It's for the museum. Oh dear, I wasn't supposed to do that. I think it's time for a quick exit.